I usually aim for a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 2.5 sometimes, but mainly a 1 to 2. So I'm risking 1 to make 2. But I'm losing a lot of profit by doing that. I'm missing a lot of pips because if you take a look here, this one is at like a 1 to 3 now. So I missed out on the rest of that move. And then, so like right now it is 2:49 my time. I could have I could have let this trade play out until right now and then exited the trade or took the profits now. But on this Swiss Japanese yen, look at that. Look at that right there. I got out at about 195 800 at a 1 to 2. You see right here, the stop loss was 45 and a half pips. The TP was 91.4 pips. 1 to 2. Look at this. This went beyond a 1 to 7. This went like a 1 to 7.3. So I made 7,000 on this trade. I could have made over $20,000 on this one trade. I'm telling you, this is my best friend. I love catching a weekly wick. Everybody else can scalp and they can do all that shit that they want to. I'm not trying to do all that. I want to go travel and live my life and go have fun. I don't want to sit here scalping the charts. That's what I used to do back in like 2018 and 2019, scalping. Now I just like catching that wick and letting it do what it's going to do. And imagine if I don't remember what day I got into this trade, maybe Monday night or Tuesday morning. I don't remember. But if I stayed into this trade or stayed in this trade the whole time, look how it would have been a 1 to 7. So what I'm about to start doing, I'm not exiting the trade at 1 or 2 no more. Not doing that shit no more. What I'm going to do is let that whole weekly candle play out until about 2 to 3 hours before market close. Then I get out because I'm missing. And this is every week, like even just not every week, but whenever the strategy is working, I'm missing out on a lot. Like this one, I wouldn't have caught that wick probably. So let's say you got in on this wick, right? You got in on the wick of that candle. Stop loss would have been underneath, below the wick. I'm talking about this one right here. And if you went for a 1 to 2, your 1 to 2 would have been like right here, right? So let me change this. It would have whipped into the body of this candle right there. Really, the stop loss would have been more like right there. So it would have whipped into the body of this candle, and then you would have got in on the wick. A 1 to 2, look at this. A 1 to 2 is right here. Look how much candle you missed out on. That's 1 week. You could have just stayed in that trade for the whole week, and on Friday, like at noon or 2 p.m. or something like that, you can get out the market then. Even on that one, look how much oh my God, that was a 1 to 10. 1 week. 1 week. That's Oh yeah, I'm bullshit. I've been playing around. And then honestly, let's say if you didn't get in on the wick just like that, you got in like this. You didn't catch the wick as good as you really wanted to. Bro, that's regardless how you look at it, it was a 1 to 10. That was a 1 to 10 trade. So yeah, like I said, what I'm about to start doing is I'm not getting out at a 1 to 2 anymore. This is a real trade I took this week. Entered at 194.891, exited at 195.805. 1 to 2. It went all the way up to a 1 to 7, and I missed all of that. I missed out hundreds of pips on the same candle that I already entered on. I already entered on a wick. So what I'm about to start doing, I'm just telling y'all the sauce right now. Before I even start doing it, I'm letting you know if you want a high win rate and then more than a 1 to 2, watch what I'm about to do with this shit. So I just been taking 1 to 2. That's what I've been doing for years, 1 to 2. But I'm missing out on way too much profit. So what I'm about to start doing, if I enter a trade, it doesn't matter Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I'm not getting out at a 1 to 2. I'm going to wait until about Friday, about 2 or 3 hours before market close. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. Hey, look at that. Like I said, about 3 p.m. right now. The market closed in an hour. I could have waited till right now and then got out the trade. I really could have waited till now and then got out. Oh yeah, no more. I'm letting y'all know to play right now. No more going for a 1 to 2 than getting out. That shit is dead. No more. Getting into the fucking trade and I'm letting it just ride up until about 2 or 3 hours before market close and I get out. And then as you go back to the 1 hour chart, you can see about 2 to 3 hours before market close would have been right there. So that was at its peak, really. 2 or 3 hours before the market close. That'd be perfect. So I'm calling it right now. When y'all see me getting these 1 to 7, 1 to 10, 1 to 5 risk to reward ratios, 1 to 10 and all that, I'm letting you know I'm calling it. I don't want nobody to be like, oh, he's not really doing that shit, bro. I'm showing you right now. I'm showing you what I'm going to do. I already told people how I'm doing it. I'm showing you. But yeah, that's the play. On this GBP JPY, it could have been a 1 to 3, but still, that's a 1 to 3. Fuck the 1 to 2. And on this one could have been a 1 to 7. Like I showed you on the other ones, like, and you can take any one of these really, like, let's just take another one. I get in on the wick, right? So let's say I got in like right here. The stop loss about right there. 1 to 2 would have been right here. But I missed out on the easy 1 to 3, 1 to 3.3, 1 to 3, easily. Taking a 1 to 2, I'm missing out on a 1 to 3. On this one, got into Willie, even if you just got in right there. 60 pip stop loss, 1 to 2 would have been right there. I missed the whole rest of the body of that candle. Could have been easily a good 1 to 3.5. On the next one, if you got in on the wick, let's say you missed most of the wick, stop loss behind the wick, and then you were going for a 1 to 2. 1 to 2 would have been right around here. You missed the rest of that. That's probably a whole nother day. You could have got easily a 1 to 3 again. On this one, that's a little wick. But you don't have to get in the wick. You can get in at the beginning of the candle. 1 to 2, right? That's what I usually take. Man, that went all the way to a 1 to 5.5, almost a 1 to 6. Almost 1 to 6. So yeah, not doing that shit no more. From now on, I'm letting y'all know right now. I'm calling that shit right now. From now on, I'm not going for a 1 to 2. I'm going for a 1 until the fucking 2 or 3 hours before market close. The weekly wick, man. Wick catching. This shit is called wick catching. I'm the wick catcher. I'm catching these wicks, bro. The weekly wick, not the daily wick, not the 4 hour, not the 15-minute, none of that. Weekly wicks. That's what it is. So let's even do like this one real quick. Price will pull it back to around this level. Went to the lower time frame. Would have waited for trend continuation trigger to broke. I probably would have got in around right there. Stop loss right here. And normally I would go for a 1 to 2. So let's mark up the 1 to 2 first. So yeah, normally I go for a 1 to 2. I didn't take this trade, but it was a nice trade too. I could have took it. I don't like taking too many trades a week, but that's the 1 to 2. That's where I would have entered that in the wick. That's the 1 to 2. This one would have even been over a 1 to 3. Easily a 1 to 3. But yeah, that's the new play, man. No more 1 to 2. That shit is done. Minimum 1 to 3, or just letting the candle ride all the way until around noon. All the way until around noon on Friday, then getting out.